don't chase money or relationship or a social metric. Find and chase your purpose. Chasing your purpose will lead you to your people. Uplift your people, and they will uplift you in return. And then all the rest will come.
There's something within you uh, that is worth expressing, and whenever you express it, you get fulfilled. I believe that that's what God wants us to do, right? God wants us to create. However we do it, when you find that purpose that fulfills you, it's like you're growing closer to God. The first thing that God tells us about Himself is that He's creative, right? In the beginning, God created, right? And He tells us that He's creative, right? And so, like, if I want to be more like God, I continue to create. And it's funny because when I'm not creating something, I don't feel as fulfilled as opposed to when I am.
Studio room,
Mm-hmm.
like all kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, since we're talking about that a little bit, man, I wanted to ask you what is like the importance, because I know you do a whole bunch of creative stuff, and I admire you for that, and that's why like I asked you to be on this,
Mm-hmm.
is because like you make your clothes, you do slam poetry, and so and like it's just so interesting to meet people that are into different kinds of stuff, especially like expressing themselves creatively in a different way. So what do you feel like is the importance of expressing yourself creatively?
Hmm. Um. There are two things about it. One is that it's like just at like a base level, it's super therapeutic for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, I dealt with like pretty severe like depression, anxiety issues,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially when I was younger, and like the act of like sewing or like writing, focusing on my poetry, like helped me be present in the moment. And it was the kind of thing that just being occupied doing that would stop the wheels from spinning.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a big reason that I continued, have always stuck with it. And
Mm-hmm.
then also, it's just like a form of expression.
Mm-hmm.
Like I I'm always like listening to music. I read a lot of books and stuff. So for me, it was just like a natural thing.
Right. Yeah.
Like in school as a kid, like you do like arts and crafts and stuff. And like my inner child is very much still like alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
So like it the things that I wear are an extension of like my identity
Mm-hmm.
to a certain degree. Like you talk about like you love shirts and you love like um, putting designs together, screen printing and
Yeah.
stuff. It's because like it's an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you make something and you put it on, it's like you've completed this circle, and
Yeah.
then like other people see it, and it helps you find your people,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because when people connect with you about something that you made, then like that's how you can find your people.
Right. Right. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, and dude, I can totally relate to that too about like completing the circle. Um, because yeah, when I was younger too, I felt like I always started something but I never finished it. And just recently like I was able to, I've been doing like a lot of woodworking stuff. So like I'm able to take something and make it from start to finish, and I had never felt like such an accomplishment because I started it and I actually finished it. But when I was younger, like I would never finish anything. I would always just start something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like as far as like your poetry, when did all that start? Like how did you get started with that?
I wrote creatively a lot, like as a kid.
Yeah.
In high school, I wrote like poetry, but it was in like strict like meter and rhyme, like iambic pentameter, like dun 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 rhyme dun time, like,
Yeah, I see.
and that was kind of lame. But I mean, not that it's lame to do that, you know. That's like how a lot of people like Shakespeare and did stuff.
Mm.
But then I found poetry slam. Um, I got introduced to it senior year of high school. My speech and debate teacher showed me like a video.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then when I went up north to Flagstaff to go to Northern Arizona University, I found the poetry slam out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And like as soon as I walked in the doors and saw like what they were doing, like very like performative, like modern, like contemporary like free verse stylings and all that, and just like how real and authentic it was, I
Mm.
was like, this is, I want to do this for sure.
Wow.
And so I started performing, and that was like 2009, 2010,
Yeah. Okay.
and it just went from there. Like the poetry slam in Flagstaff is weekly,
Mm.
so I just kept showing up like every week.
Wow. That's cool. And so did that like somewhat hold you accountable to like continue making poetry even if you didn't feel like it, or like have you always, was it like from that point on like you were just was like in love with just making poetry and then doing poetry slam?
Um, there were times that it like kept me motivated and accountable
Mhm.
because it's like you want to bring something new next week,
Yeah.
or you want to be better than you were the week before.
Yeah.
And then as my life like took a different turn and I started to like really struggle with like addiction and
Mhm.
stuff, it was definitely like a tether to like positive community,
Mhm.
because like the poets that I know and love today, like one, they didn't judge me for being in active addiction and stuff. um, they cared about me,
Mhm.
and so they would like drag me out to poetry events and stuff,
Wow.
like when I moved back down to Phoenix and
Mhm.
everything. They like continually just like wanted me to be around and like believed in my ability and presence as a poet.
Mhm.
And so before I really found recovery for myself, like through the 12 steps and everything, and like really committed to like uh, the process and the principles, like
Mhm.
it was definitely my connection to the poetry community that like held me together.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So, can you walk me through that process of like how you take something that causes you pain and turn it into art, like poetry? Like, what is that process like? Or it doesn't even necessarily have to be pain, but any kind of emotion or anything that's necessarily tied to creating art.
Um, a lot of times when I sit down to write, I think about myself standing on the stage,
Uh huh.
and I think to myself, what do I have to say that only I can say and that will mean something to someone else who hears it?
Okay.
That's like a lot of my starting point.
Okay. So you're thinking about it on both sides. Like, what do I think, and then like, how does somebody else think, or
Yeah.
how would they feel?
Like today when I get on stage, I have like three primary objectives. I'm trying to touch a heart, heal a body, free a mind.
Mm.
And so like the things that I write, those are the goals essentially. If I can do those three things, then like I've succeeded
Mhm.
with like my writing and my performance. Um, I really love like the craft with the wordplay and just like the dedication to like because I memorize all my poems.
Okay,
And
that's
then
impressive. Yeah.
thank you. I've just kind of always had a knack for like memorization
Mhm.
and stuff, but so it takes work though. I do have to like practice and
Yeah.
practice. And so the process will be like something that moves me, right? Like I let me think. I would say like really something that strikes a chord with me emotionally.
Mhm.
Like I have a poem that people really love, called "Time to Live,"
Mhm.
and it starts off saying like, "For each person there exists a sentence, a series of words which has the power to destroy you. Another sentence exists, another series of words which will heal you." And like I borrowed that, I paraphrased it from um, a novel by Philip K. Dick.
Mhm.
So it's like a sci-fi novel, and that like really stood out to me.
Yeah.
Right, that like the words to destroy or heal you are out there somewhere and they exist. And then I kind of unfolded that by talking about my experience in addiction,
Mhm.
like going through overdose and like suffering, but on the other hand going through the beautiful process of recovery
Mhm.
and committing myself to my art and like embracing the love of community.
Mhm.
And so that's like really where my writing process comes from.
Yeah.
Like something will sound like very powerful or impactful to me, and then I'll like try to find an artful way to be vulnerable or like meaningful
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. That's what, and that's how I think. Like that's how it starts for a lot of people too. Is like they get inspiration from other artists or other, uh, yeah, from other artists, and then like they make it their own. So that's cool. And like I just love how like you express the it allows you to or you find a way to be vulnerable. And so like that's I feel is where the connection really happens between you and another person is the ability to be vulnerable allows another person to connect with you on a deeper level than just like something on the surface, you
Yeah.
know. And so like what would you say is like what would you say to someone that is hasn't found their creative outlet yet?
Hmm. I would say like just try and expose yourself to new things,
Yeah,
you know?
that's awesome.
Yeah, like there are so many different ways you can get out there and try and find like what your thing is.
Oh.
Like there are fine art centers, libraries, like poetry slams and
Mhm.
open mics, um, all sorts of different events. You have to like try and see what's out there.
Right, right.
Um, and then once you find something that like I say like sparks joy in your heart, like try and stick with that, like see where it'll take you.
Mhm.
Cause I'm a firm believer in like the idea that the things that nourish like your heart and soul
Mm-hmm.
are the most important things. Like when I say like my poetry and like the things that I put on my clothing help me connect with others, which helps me find my people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I firmly believe like and this is advice that I give myself. So this
Right.
is why I like say it to other people is don't chase money or relationship or a social metric. Find and chase your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Chasing your purpose will lead you to your people. Uplift your people and they will uplift you in return. And
Mm-hmm.
then all the rest will come.
Mm-hmm. That's good, man. That's awesome. And yeah, bro, like, and that's what I mean, that's what this is really about too. Like this whole podcast, this whole message is for like to encourage people to um, fulfill their purpose or find their purpose, and they're building a brand, building a business, or whatever they're doing, but they're doing it with purpose behind it, right? And they're doing it because they feel like they've been convicted to do it, you know. And so, and I feel like that's what essentially will fill you at the end of the day, you know. I feel like there's something within you uh, that is worth expressing, and whenever you express it, you get fulfilled. Um, because essentially, like that's what God, I believe that's what God wants us to do, right? God wants us to create. However we do it, right? Like a construction worker is a creative person because he
Mm-hmm.
builds something from scratch, you know. Any person with any job, it's a form of art. And when you find that purpose that fulfills you, it's like you're growing closer to God, right? Because and like not to get too deep or too biblical, but like in the beginning, like the first thing that God tells us about himself is that he's creative, right? In the beginning God created,
Yeah.
right? And he tells us that he's creative, right? And so like if I want to be more like God, I continue to create. And it's funny because when I'm not creating something, I don't feel as fulfilled as opposed to when I am creating something, you know. And it's just such a trip because I've realized that before I ever started getting into spirituality, or before I ever started getting into recovery or having a relationship with God, I for some reason when I started creating something, I just always felt fulfilled. And when I wasn't creating something, like I didn't feel fulfilled, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trip that I realized that like a while ago, and I had never really put too too much deep thought into it. But yeah, it's a trip. So thank you for that, you know, because it is about purpose, you know,
Yeah.
essentially. Um, so like, how has like writing about your pain and writing about your experiences changed the way you saw it? Changed the way like you saw your pain or you saw your growth.
Um, like, so I'll say that the poetry that I write now, like now that I'm sober
Yeah.
and have like found success in long term sobriety.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know, like I've got 17 months now, so
Nice.
yeah. And I mean, I suppose that's long term. I know it's not like super long term,
Right. Right.
but it means I've got something is working for me
Mhm.
clearly, and like the kind of poetry that I'm writing now, and the way that I'm able to connect with people, the way I'm able to show up in spaces intentionally, um, and like foster a sense of community, the way
Mhm.
I'm able to be present for the people that I love and care about and that are committed to the same things I am. I had to go through all that
Mhm.
pain and suffering to become this version of myself.
Right.
And with the 12 steps, it says like we are uniquely qualified. um, to carry this message.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really goes hand in hand. Like, I do not regret my past nor wish to shut the door on it. Like, no matter how dark my past, no matter how far down the scales I've gone, I see how my experience can benefit others.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole new generation of poets, um, finding their voices. And, just like there were poets like much older than me that poured into me and like held space for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now it's my turn to be that person for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before this, I was just at the gym with a really good friend of mine. He's with like 19 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got the gift. He's an amazing poet,
Mm-hmm.
and it adds like another layer to it. Um, Being able to be close with someone like that. It's like I see how it was when I was 19, and there were
Mm-hmm.
dudes who'd been like writing and performing poetry for 15 years that cared about me and showed up for me. It's like, oh, so this is what that's like, and like this is what that means. And so, like, writing and performing and just being creative has helped me, just like with the 12 steps, like find the purpose and the blessings that come with what I've been through.
Mm. Okay. I see. So do you believe like pain um so you believe that pain has a purpose, or do you feel like we create a purpose out of it?
Um, I think like on a base level, pain
Mm.
like serves a purpose. Like you touch a hot stove,
Yeah.
it hurts, so you know not to do that,
Right.
or that like something's wrong. But I think in a lot of ways, life is what you make of it, and it's all about like how you look at it.
Mm.
Like I was telling you, about having like a potential roommate. I was like, I don't really want to do that.
Mm.
I was just thinking about me. And then I looked at it differently, like put myself in their shoes.
Mm.
And I was like, well, yeah, well, it sounds like a good idea when I think about it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And ultimately, um, I do the things that I do creatively because, like you said, it's fulfilling for me.
Right.
It helps me feel closer to something divine.
Mm-hmm.
It nourishes me inside, and ultimately, when you're able to do that, it's therapeutic, which means like it's like medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you can make something that's medicine for you, it can become medicine for others.
Right, yeah, yeah. That's good. And what do you feel like is the biggest mistake people make when they're trying to do that? When they're trying to turn their struggles into like something meaningful?
Um, I think the biggest mistake you can make when you start doing that is doing it for the wrong reasons, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, you can't go into it like with poetry slam, like it's a competition
Yeah.
and stuff, right? If you go into it living and dying by the scores and whether or not you win the competition, like
Mm-hmm.
you're missing the point. Like at the Phoenix Poetry Slam, the host, B Jam, he always says the points are for the show, but the poetry is for the soul.
Mm.
And so like if you there can come a point where you're like, I've put so much work into this. Why isn't it like resonating with people. Why aren't people feeling like the same way about this as I do?
I see. Yeah.
And like things like that come with time. Like Rome wasn't built in a day,
Mm.
right? Like you have to, like, ultimately, if you're doing it because it means something to you, that will carry you. If you keep it pure like that, it will
Mm.
carry you to the point where you've put in, like the 10,000 hour thing. Like once you've like honed your skills and stuff, and people start to really like see it.
Mm.
If you're still doing it for the right reasons, like the sky's the limit.
Mm.
But if you are doing it because like, oh, like, I don't know, I hope that makes
No,
sense.
yeah, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense because it's like it's almost like you're doing it to be performative. You're not doing it to feed your soul. So like, okay, so walk me through like, say like I wanted to do that, like what would be the steps of me, like going into a poetry slam, or like
Um,
starting to like perform, or going, starting to get connected to that community.
so there's, I would say like, like my first handful of poetry slams, I just went to watch,
Okay, yeah.
just to like
At
watch and meet
GCU.
people. At NAU,
Oh,
yeah.
NAU. Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, while I was in school there, the Flagstaff Poetry Slam is like held in downtown Flagstaff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not like school sponsored or anything, but that's just why I was in Flagstaff
I see.
initially. I just went to like go and watch
Uh huh.
and meet people. And like when a poet got off stage that I really like loved what they did, I would like, like hype them up. I would be like, wow, like that was amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then those people became my friends.
Mhm.
And then it's like, I was like a little nervous at first.
Just attending.
Um, yeah, a little bit, because like there's when you don't know what's going on.
Right.
But then, like, as I got to know people and stuff, then I was like, I think I want to get on stage.
Ah, okay.
But then when you know, like, a bunch of the people,
Mhm.
it's like you're just getting up in front of the homies,
Yeah, yeah.
And then it takes the pressure off because it's like, well, we're all like doing it. It's not like, and I still get nervous sometimes because it matters, because it's special to me,
Yeah,
not because like
100%.
I'm afraid so much.
Mhm.
So like I would say like the first steps are to just like get out there. There's the Ghost Poetry Show, the Phoenix Poetry Slam. Um, there's a really great event called Body Slam, and then there's a whole host of like open mics
Mhm.
as well. Like some people really like the open mic poetry vibe more than um, like the poetry slam, like
What's
super
what's
competitive
the
thing.
difference? Oh, it's competitive. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Poetry slam is a competitive form of poetry
Okay.
started in the 1980s, and it's like a game.
Mhm.
So like say there's like 12 poets. Each poet will get up on stage. There's 3 rounds, right? And you have 3 minutes and 10 seconds to perform an original piece of poetry,
Mhm.
um, with no props and no musical accompaniment, no costumes. And then you have 3 minutes with a 10-second grace period. So you get up, you read the poem, you exit the stage, and then there will be 5 randomly selected members of the audience with whiteboards.
Ah, okay.
And they'll score it Olympic style, zero point 0 to 10.0.
Mhm.
So out of those 5 scores, you drop the high, drop the low, add the middle 3 together, and that's your score for the round.
Okay.
And then as the rounds go on, like say like after the first or second round, there'll be cuts. So they'll cut from like 12 to like 8.
Mhm.
In the third round, they'll cut from like 8 to 4. And then at the end, of the competition. Whoever has the highest cumulative score is the winner.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you can win like a trophy or like a little bit of money or
Right.
something,
Yeah.
which is cool and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a competitive thing. And if you go over 3 minutes and 10 seconds, you're deducted points for every 10 seconds you go over that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's rules and structure and competition to it.
Yeah. So you can really make like a career out of it then, like
Um,
poetry, or not really.
Out of all the poets I know, there's only a few that like are actual like working artists that like
Yeah.
live off their art.
Okay.
Usually it's kind of like a thing I'm very passionate about.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm assuming like, um, independently you can, yeah, like you can make a career out of it. I
Oh
feel,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely you can make a career out of it.
nowadays I feel like, I don't know, my mind's just going like in a thousand different directions, like, making a book,
Hmm.
right? Like clothing, and just with the power of social media, like you could do just so much with it. Is that an avenue that like you have thought about or have explored?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I have been published a number of times.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, on the DIY like tip, I do print like my own books.
Okay.
So I like design the cover, like format all the poems.
Mm.
Like I print them on like regular 8.5 by like 10-inch paper or whatever, and like fold them, like staple them. I like paint them
Mm.
myself, and like I sell those. I've been published in books you can buy, like in bookstores, like Changing Hands or like
I like Changing Hands.
yeah,
It's a really cool book, sir.
yeah. There's a book called Hydration
Okay.
that I'm a featured poet in,
Wow. Yeah, that's impressive, man.
and
That's really cool.
so you can get books published, and like I'll say this, like just what 2 weekends ago
Mm.
I got flown out to Eugene, Oregon to feature at a poetry event.
I saw that. I saw that. I was like, what? So, did somebody see you online, or what happened?
Yeah, so actually it's crazy,
Okay.
right? Like, my friend Claudio Elizalde,
Mm-hmm.
he, we met in Flagstaff originally back in like 2010,
Mm-hmm.
right? 2011. And we were both going and performing at the Poetry Slam there. And then life kind of took us in different directions from there.
Yeah.
And we kind of like stayed in touch online and stuff. And he hit me up like a couple months ago. And he was like, "Hey, I see like your presence online." He's like, I've seen some of your videos. He's like, "Your work is amazing." He's like, "Would you want to come out to this event that I organize like every season
Mm.
in Eugene?" It's called like Eugene Poetry Seasons
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram, and it's like connotations of spring, summer, fall, winter.
Okay.
And so I did the summer one. And so I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to do that." And he's like, "Yeah, I can get your plane tickets for you."
What?
He's like, "You can crash at my place." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, say less."
Yeah, for real. Like, dude, I'm getting flown out, and that's cool, man. And so,
Yeah.
how was it?
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the Eugene is a gorgeous place.
I've always wanted to go to Oregon.
Yeah.
I want to go soon.
Oregon is very pretty, and like Eugene is gorgeous. There's
Mm-hmm.
just like trees everywhere, and like the people are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like their downtown has a lot of really arts focused local venues and vendors and stores and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the venue that I performed at is called the Hybrid Gallery,
Okay.
and they've got like a rotating gallery wall of local artists.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're attached to this like ethically sourced, like female led coffee shop, and like they were just like super genuine, sweet, authentic people.
That's awesome.
And like the other poets that had signed up to read, that are local, like that at that event, were like super focused and like very like passionate about poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And my homie Claudio like took really good care of me
Yeah.
and stuff. Like he took me out and showed me like all the cool stuff in Eugene.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so it was a beautiful experience, but it wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for the dedication that I put into my recovery.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
like um, working the 12 steps and like going through treatment and like just committing myself totally, um, and working on myself helped me become the version of myself that attracted the eyes of like my friend Claudio,
Mm-hmm.
which like prompted him to like extend this opportunity to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like it all boils down to like embracing life in recovery
Mm-hmm.
and like continually working on myself.
Yeah. That's so amazing, man. And that was gonna be like my next question. Like, what are some of those like guiding principles that both lead you to continue being creative and that you implement in your creativity?
Um, like now that I have like this dedicated studio space in my home,
Yeah, which is awesome.
yeah,
It's so awesome that you have
it's
that.
a phenomenal blessing.
Yeah.
Like being able to have like all my art supplies in one place
Mm-hmm.
and like a space to be intentional with my creativity. But like I'm sorry, what was the question
No,
again?
you're good. So, like, what are some of the guiding principles that l- led you to your led you to being creative and that you implement in your creativity?
Hmm. Like so there's this like saying like be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
For me, I create the things that when I was younger I wish I had seen or that I would like to see in the world today.
Okay.
Like that's what really got me like doing sewing and
Mhm.
stuff. My maternal grandmother taught me how to sew when I was like 14, 15. So like
Right.
right after I moved out here. And um when I was in high school, I would just have ideas,
Mhm.
right? Like I would be like, oh, like this would look really like I did a pair of pants, right? Like Party City had like these glow in the dark skeleton gloves,
Yeah.
and so I was wearing them. I like wore them to school and stuff. Um, and one day I'm like looking down. I had my hands like on my jeans like this,
Mhm.
and I was like, what would be cool if I like sewed them onto the pockets of my jeans. So that's what I did. I took like
Oh,
the
nice.
skeleton gloves and I sewed them over the pockets and stuff, so
Yeah.
that when I put my hand in it, it looked like a skeleton hand.
Yeah.
And um, so that's like the initial thing is
Uh-huh.
just making something that I think would look cool,
Yep.
and then like from there, I put like lines from my poetry or
Oh,
like lines from other stuff like on the backs of my shirts.
that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, because eventually I would say like Yeah, it was like March 2021
Mm-hmm.
was when I had the idea for my brand, Atelier Valence.
Mm.
Because Atelier is French for an artist studio or workshop. So it's like Studio Valence, just like
Yeah.
like a cool, fancy way of saying
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Um, and then once I came up with like the logo and started to develop like designs based around that, um, I like sat down and looked online for like mission statement, like brand development, like worksheets and stuff. And the questions were like, who is your brand for? Like, why would people like gravitate towards this?
Mm-hmm.
And it just helped me be intentional about like the things that I put on it. Like on the back of this shirt, it says "to see with eyes unclouded,"
Mm-hmm.
and that's a line from the Miyazaki film Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
Like the main character in that, he gets asked when he shows up at this village. They're like, "Why have you come here?" And he says, "To see with eyes unclouded."
Mm.
And like that just hit like so deep for me, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it sounds like very spiritual and like powerful.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
And so like the guiding principle is that like if just do things that like spark joy in your heart,
Mm-hmm.
and then follow that, like be dedicated, be diligent, be disciplined, and it will resonate with other people the same way it does for you.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So, yeah, that's awesome. To see with eyes unclouded too. I've never heard that before, and I actually really like that. Well, yeah, man. Well, thanks so much for doing this with me, man. I really appreciate you stopping by, and I really like all the stuff that you're doing online. Um, and what's your favorite poem that you've made?
Of mine,
Yeah.
um, right now it's definitely a poem called "Time to Live,"
Okay.
and you can look it up like on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like if you put Valence poetry or Valence Time to Live, like
Yeah.
it'll pop up.
Mm.
It's footage from the Ghost Poetry Show.
Okay.
Because one of the really cool things about that show is like you sign up to compete, and they do like really high def like footage
Yeah.
of the whole event, and they'll send you your videos.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and so having something like that allows you to like watch it back,
Mm.
and like you can critique and workshop your own performance.
Yeah.
Or like for me, I put it online, and that's like one of the reasons that like my homie Claudio like zeroed in on me.
Ah, yeah, yeah. So how does it go?
Do you want me to like read it right now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be cool. If
Okay.
you have it memorized,
I do, yeah, for sure.
That'd be really cool. Because I remember, so for when we first met, you actually did one. I remember we first met outside of Crossroads Scottsdale, and you actually like said one to me, and that's
Mm.
when we first like ever interacted or
word.
met. Yeah, and like I was like, this is like awesome. Yeah, it was cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember. Yeah, I definitely remember.
Oh yeah.
I was with Riley.
Yeah, in the parking lot.
Yeah, in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
yeah.
That's
That was,
what's up.
Yeah, that was it was awesome.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
But yeah, man, if you have it memorized, yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to hear it.
For sure.
Then you can have a clip of for yourself too.
All right. So how should I orient myself? Should I like shoot it down the barrel? Should
It's
I
up
look
to
at
you, however you want to do it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Don't mean to put you on the spot, but
No, this is I love doing stuff
Yeah.
like this. For each person there exists a sentence, a series of words, which has the power to destroy you. Another sentence exists, another series of words which will heal you. Was it when a man came upon me, slumped in the driver's seat, my lips purple and palling, mouth foaming, a toxic and lethal mixture of heroin and Xanax, culling the life from my body veins first? Or was it my staggering theophany in the high desert of Albuquerque where God struck me blind, knocking me from the horse? I stand before you now, changed, sober as the day I was born, walking by faith and not by sight, in the knowing that God holds the entire universe together, and there but for the grace of God go I, my tongue a blither of Gnostic hearkenings. I know what it is to destroy, I myself now searching for the words to heal us, because I know too many people who did not live to see the first day of summer. But I still have to go outside and fall back in love with everything the way the ones that I am missing would have wanted. And what would it mean if I lived more in my grief for them than their love for me? We have put our hearts on display, exhibits in the galleries of sorrow. The day must come where we take them down, dust them off, and carry them back to the permanent collection of our birth-written joy, where the banner over the door reads, "It is right, it is good that you are here." Now is not the time for the broken staccato procession of mourners, piercing the all-pervasive gray sky with our shrill, heaving, scattershot cries. We have paid our debt thus far to death's well, and if all we are is a bucket of water and a handful of minerals, aren't our tears the most valuable thing we have to give? Yes, it is time to live. And if you are thinking of leaving, please stay. If you are contemplating the rope, the razor, the bullet, reading the bottle, and treating the warning like directions, know that it will not end your pain. It will only push it onto the hearts of everyone around you today, and that is because you are loved. You are worthy. You are more than enough, and I know. There are days unspeakable, nights it feels like the sky will come falling at any moment in that dark place where you are alone and nobody cares. It is not true that nobody cares. People care. And there are people who will care who have not even been born yet, and they need you. Where you have had to walk alone, those who follow never have to. Where you have had to fight with everything you are just to get to the other side alive, those who follow may find safe passage. Where we have been bruised, scarred, and broken, they can be soft and hopeful and have perhaps the experiences that life did not afford us. But most of all, don't they deserve the chance to love you too?
Man, that was. That's what they do, right?
Yeah.
Man, dude, that is awesome, bro. That is amazing. Like, that's truly a gift, dude. You know, and dude, made me kind of emotional, to be honest. That was really good, dude. That is really good. I
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. I love writing, bro. Yeah, I used to write, and I still kind of do a little bit because I make music a little bit, and I've just always loved like the art of writing, you know, and so like allowing yourself to be vulnerable and honest, and just because there's a difference between when I'm writing, like there's a difference between me writing and then me putting myself and my feelings in writing. I don't know if that makes sense, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not actually me writing; it's my feelings that are writing, and so that's amazing that you're able to do that, you know, in such a um, intricate way, you know, it's amazing. So, but thanks for doing this with me, man. I really appreciate it, and yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful you came and did this with me. You want to tell people where they can find you,
Yeah.
or where they can
So,
connect with you, or wherever?
um, I'm on Instagram at InstaValence. So InstaValence. That's like my main page on Instagram, and then I have the link to my brand page in my bio, and then I'm also on Facebook. You can look up Valence, or like I have to do my like legal name
Oh, okay,
on
yeah.
there, so that's Tyler Servinskis. That'll be very difficult to find.
That's
So I
funny.
would say just Instagram because my
Yeah.
page is public. It's like a
I'm mainly
professional
on
page.
Instagram too. I mean, I'm on Facebook sometimes, but I post all this stuff like on I just do like YouTube and Instagram, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like thank you so much for asking me to be a part of this
Of
because
course, man.
like
Of course.
the space that you're facilitating and the vision that you have,
Yeah.
like the caliber of guests that you've had on your show, the podcast like already, um, is phenomenal,
Thanks, man.
dude.
I really
Like
appreciate.
it's like doing good things,
Yeah.
and it's like creating those ripples, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it was like. That's what this is all about too, man. Like there's, you know, like the past couple of weeks, dude. I've been really like, I'm like, damn, dude. Like this isn't working. You know, like or I don't know. I've just been really like doubting myself, you know. So like to hear that is really I really appreciate it because it's like being consistent is not easy as you already know. Like and being disciplined, yeah, just being consistent in doing this and growing and learning new stuff when like you still feel like you're not seeing results, but like in reality, dude, I'm blessed. Like um this isn't like necessarily for me. I felt like I was called to do this, and I'm just trying to be as obedient as I can be to God. And when I'm not as connected with him, it feels a little bit harder to do that, and it's not as motivating to do that, so like that's kind of what I've been going through the past couple of weeks. But so I do appreciate you saying that, man, because that's essentially what it's for is we're constantly exposed to people that are growing, and we're constantly exposed to spirituality and these guiding principles that elevate our life and they elevate our life in every aspect of our life, in every area. And so like I just want other people to experience that as well, and I want to teach other people that these simple principles can also like make your life a lot better, and they can feed your soul too, so yeah, man. So thanks, I appreciate that.